Hello, thank you for tuning in to Vanderlei Guitar Repair and Modifications. I'm your host Sean. On the workbench today, have this Schecter. It's a Diamond Series, a Demon-6. I don't know a whole lot about Schecters, but I mean, all the ones I've worked on have been, I think, really nice quality. This is a good looking guitar. It's got active pickups. They're Schecter branded, 24 frets. This is my friend Alex's guitar, and it needs a good setup. I think that's it, though. I mean, there is some back bow in the neck from what I can see. We'll put you in a good spot here, and I'm going to start out by just checking the relief on the neck. Yeah. Let's see here. Help if I got this positioned correctly, wouldn't it? I don't know. That looks pretty completely flat. So we'll take the strings off and we'll see how it is. He said that there's some buzzing. I think just a setup will do fine with that. The nut appears to be cut nicely from what I can tell. We'll take a closer look at that. We'll clean it up a little. We will clean the pots and get the intonation taken care of, polish the frets, and definitely condition that fretboard. It looks a little dry. So first things first, let's see if we're getting any sound. So, alright, so that's definitely crackly. Both of those are. Pickups seem to be working fine though. We'll clean those potentiometers. That should take care of that crackle. And this guitar is tuned a step down. Actually, it's detuned right now. So that's where I'm keeping it. And that's where I like my guitars. And he has chosen Ernie Ball Super Slinky 1046, or regular Slinky, excuse me. So that's what we'll put on it. Yeah. I'm going to cut these strings off. And then we'll get rolling on cleaning this thing up, cleaning those potentiometers. And we'll move on with this setup. Say it shouldn't take much. That's a pretty guitar. It really is. Okay, so without string tension, yeah, this is completely flat. As a matter of fact, there is a little bit, just a tiny bit of back bow. I mean, a tiny bit. I'm going to adjust that out. I mean, it was almost imperceivable. I think it would be okay, but I want to get it completely flat before I check the frets to see if there's any high ones. Okay, so this appears to be a 4mm, which is what I thought. So what we want to do is just take a little bit of tension off this. So we want to go left. I'm just going to go like a quarter turn or so to loosen it up. So everything's turning just fine. Let's see where that gets us. I know I barely moved it, but it is, again, almost imperceivable, the amount of bow that it had or has. Another eighth turn. All right, I'm going to call that perfect. Let's get out the fret rocker and see how everything looks. Put you in a good position here. Okay, so here's a fret rocker, and got a little rock on the second fret, but only the bottom part. And honestly, it looks to be a little popped up, which, you know, it happens. It can happen with weather and stuff. I'm going to try to reseat it. I think that's all it needs. Just going to tap it with this rubber mallet. Oftentimes that'll take care of it, because it's fine up here. It's just down here. Yeah, just about barely moving now. And I'm not hitting this hard. There we go. I think that's us. One more tap. I guess that was 3. Perfect. All right, let's move on. All right, I'm going to go through and check all these. I found one more high fret right here. And again, it's just on the treble side, so it's just popping up some, probably from the weather. That took care of it. You move on and keep checking them. All right, there's a third high fret. Again, though, you can see that it's just not seated completely. It may come that way from the factory. It may not be the weather, but since it's kind of a new issue, the buzzing, I took care of that. My guess is it's just from the weather. And then this one, I guess that's the 24th, 23rd fret. It's just a little bit popped up too. Very little bit. All right, that took care of that. So next thing is let's tape up these pickups and polish these frets. Okay, so pickups are all taped off, and I do that anytime that I do any kind of fret work or filing, because I don't want to get any metal filings in the pickups. These, I doubt it would go in these, but still, you don't want them sticking, the filings sticking to the pickups, etc. So all I'm going to do is use some of this 4/0 steel wool, and actually, you know what? That's really dirty too. Well, let's go ahead and let's do this first, and then I'll clean that fretboard some and then hydrate it. Doesn't take much, and I use just use a guard. Although you can use this this 4/0 steel wool on the wood itself, on the rosewood, if it's really bad, and just clean it with that. I don't think I'm going to need to do that. What a difference. Those are pretty tarnished. Nice. These are going to feel great. All right, so I'm going to go through and oops, stepping on stuff. I'm going to go through and do all these, and then we'll clean the fretboard. What a big difference. We'll clean the fretboard, and then we'll hydrate it. We'll take care of the pots, and then we'll put strings on it and set it up. All right, yeah, those frets were really tarnished, so they look fantastic now. I always take my vacuum the fretboard, vacuum up the guitar, and vacuum around the workbench before I take the tape off the pickup. So this might be a little loud for a second. All right, that way we make sure we don't have any shavings to go in the pickups, and we can continue our journey towards a well set up guitar. And I'm going to use a little bit of naphtha on this fretboard with a microfiber cloth. I think that will be what we need. I mean, it's pretty dirty, but it's not too bad. All right, so I'm just going to clean really well, especially up against these frets. Yeah, you can see it's pretty dirty. And this is going to dry it out a little more, but that's okay because we're going to hydrate it. And so this naphtha, or lighter fluid, this works great for cleaning guitars, and it doesn't hurt the finish or anything. Just don't smoke while you're doing it. But yeah, it's making a huge difference already. All right, so I'm going to go through and just clean all these, all of this board, and then we'll hydrate it. So that looks really good. One thing I did notice, so I'm going through here, there are a few sharp fret ends. They're not horrible. I'm just going to take this sponge, and it's a super fine sponge, or fine sponge. These work great for fret ends when they're a little sharp. And if they were really sharp, I would do them individually, but nah, that's all it needed, which is what I thought. A little bit of fret sprout. And again, this might just be from the factory. It may not even be because of the weather. Oh yeah, it's already super nice. Okay, hang on, I'm going to vacuum this up. Okay, I took care of that. I say it wasn't bad anyway, but it needed a little bit of fixing. So let's hydrate this fretboard. I'm going to use my Dunlop 65. If I can hold on to it. Lemon oil. I love this stuff. It smells good too. And I'm just going to get the entire fretboard, and I'm going to let it soak in. Because it is pretty dry, and of course I just cleaned it, so made it a little more dry, but that's okay, it was dirty. So there we go. This stuff, I use it on all of my ebony and rosewood boards. Oh, I probably do it once a year on my stuff, but depending on your climate and your indoor climate, where your guitars are being stored, you might have to do it more, or you may not have to do it that much. It's nice and humid here in Louisville, Kentucky, so that probably saves us a little. All right, let me get the rest of this, and then we'll move on. All right, and then I'm using a Q-tip to spread it up in places I couldn't get to, especially on some of these smaller frets. I want to make sure everything gets hydrated. And like I say, on the bigger frets, it's not usually a problem, but still sometimes just a couple spots up against the nut nicely. This is going to look really nice. All right. While we're here, let's go ahead and put some graphite in the nut. And I normally wouldn't do this until I cut it, but I already checked it, and this thing, it's cut fine. Matter of fact, seemed to be cut better than most. So put a little bit, tiny bit of graphite in there, should be fine. I grabbed these tuners and all, everything feels tight. I always like to check that kind of stuff. Switch feels tight, knobs are tight. We'll clean those potentiometers though. First things first, let's move you back a little. Let's clean this body a little bit while we're waiting for this to settle in. And again, using this Dunlop 65. I love this stuff. I just spray it on the rag. And I'm not going to do a deep clean on this, but I'm going to get some of this gunk off. I don't know much about these Schecter branded pickups. They're again, they are active, but I know that Schecter makes very good pickups from what I understand. I mean, to the point where they have their own pickup sales, and I know a lot of people buy them and put them in other guitars. So that's kind of cool. But I do like the finish on this. All right, so let me get this wiped off good, and then we'll wipe off this fretboard. It ought to be soaked up here pretty soon. Okay, so that looks quite a bit better. It's got some scratches and some imperfections, but yeah. Let me go ahead and wipe this off. And all we're doing is wiping off the excess. You don't have to worry about ever putting too much lemon oil on. It'll only soak up what it needs. And then the rest just wipes off. And then this fretboard's looking really nice. This thing's going to play fantastically. Fret's nice and polished. Fretboard clean and hydrated. It's looking good. All right, let's take this back panel off. All right, so I got the screws out and got my suction pig. This thing is not coming off. Wow, suction pig has never failed me. Let's try a little flathead screwdriver here. You need to put a razor blade in it. Oh, there's a little gap. Let's try this. And get my suction pig back. Maybe the combination of the two. Huh. Okay, let me get a little more creative here. I wonder if I have the right kind of razor blade down here. Hang on a second. I gotta find something. Okay. That was unexpected. Funny. It's just on there good. Alright, so everything looks pretty good in here. I assume this is all factory wiring. Let's take a look in the battery compartment. Alright, and battery seems to be working fine. I mean, it was putting out noise, so let's clean these potentiometers. Deox it. I'm just going to spray it right in the gap here. Twist it from below. Get the switch too. The tone. Oops. And again, you never have to worry about the oxide hurting anything. Unfortunately, I just wiped this up though, so that stinks. Might have to clean that again. That's okay though. That feels much better. All right. All right, that should take care of the scratchiness. Let me put this back together. Okay, so yeah, we're pretty well ready. I am going to put strings on it. Um, 13, 17. Huh. It does not seem to have an entire set here. Okay. Right, here we go. Okay, so I'm going to have to find an extra string, and that's no problem. I'll do that, and we'll get these strings on. Okay, so now he's getting GHS boomers 10 to 36 because that's what I keep in stock, or 10 to 46. So anyway, yeah, let me put these on. Okay, so the strings are on. I forgot to check. I think this is a 12-inch radius. Yeah, it looks to be. Yeah, 12-inch radius. So, all right, we're good. I think this is pretty close. I need to raise the action a little. I guessed at it. I think it's a little low on the bass side. Let me see where it's sitting here. I don't know if I can hold on to it. Yeah, I'm going to raise it up just a little. I mean, it's super low. It's holding it really low, but we'll do that, and then we'll set the intonation, and I'll do a video of a playthrough, a short, when I'm all done. Let me go ahead and just finish getting this set up. Okay, so I got, whoops, sorry. I got that action low. It's about like 1.25, a little less. And it's holding it fine. Let me take a look at the neck. Neck is still dead straight, but no buzzing. Definitely won't be anyone that's being played. All right, let's. I kind of guessed at the intonation and stuff. Let's see where we're at. Right on. All right. All good. All right. This thing. Yeah, I would say this is set up. All I need to do is put this back. Because I don't need to adjust the neck anymore. It's usually the last thing I do is put the truss rod cover back on. Once I know everything's set up. Keep it straight. Okay, so that is it. This guitar is all done, and I will do a playing short with it soon. Thanks a whole lot for tuning in, and please like, subscribe, tell your friends, hit the bell, do all the good stuff. Let me know if you need any repairs. Put in the comments, if you have any experience with Schecter guitars and what you think. This one's made in Indonesia, but it seems to be great quality. Listen to Rifle every day, and the playlists are all the Rifle records, so please take a look, take a listen, rock on, love one another.